Today we're going to do a real short informal tutorial. This is Dropio. I would have pronounced it Dropio. Everyone I know pronounces it Dropio. This is a device, a way of sending large files up to 100 megabytes that normally wouldn't fit into email. And we can use those for sending video files, publisher files. That's a big one we can use at church because sometimes we have things in publisher and we need to be able to pull stuff out of publisher. It's a lot easier to do that than pulling it out of a PDF file. But a publisher file that makes a several kilobyte PDF file is off 25 megabytes or so. So you start by opening a browser anywhere you want to, and you don't use the www. Type in drop.io. So it's Dropio after the HTTP // and that brings up Dropio. And there you go. Now you're going to create a drop, and when you create your drop, it's going to be stored at this address on the browser, and it gives you a generic address, and you can just use that one. Or if you want to create your own, you can do so, assuming that it hasn't been used by someone else, and it has to be 7 characters or more to see if it lets use SAMP CRC. And then a lot of people think, okay, the next thing you do is you hit create the drop, because that's what you're going to do. But creating the drop is what actually puts the files online. So what your next step is to do is to select the files you wish to add. You can add up to 100 megabytes. And you do this, you hit select files, it's going to go to your computer, and it's going to look for whatever files you may wish to use. We probably don't want to use one too big, just simply because, let's do this, just because it'll take up so much time. But we're going to put disaster recovery. Now this one's only, 69 kilobytes, so it's not even going to show up much. But anyway, we open that file, and now that is stored. And under normal circumstances, this area right here, say if you were putting in 30 megabytes, this would fill up to about here. This shows you the progress. So your files have been selected. You also have the option of some additional things that you can do, and you click on additional options, and this allows you to put in a password that someone needs to access your file. You can decide the file is going to be on there a day, a week, a month, doesn't matter from the last time it's viewed. You can allow other people to add files, delete files, download files, make comments. This is particularly useful if you're trading information back. Say you're doing a newsletter and you want someone to be able to add some information to it. You upload your publisher file, and they can download it, and they can change it, and then they can add the file back and delete the old file, and you can pass it on. But if you don't wish to do that, if all you wish to do is pass this information on to them, download is a option that's already there. So once you have selected the file, you don't even have to do the additional files. Having selected the file, then you create the drop. You hit create, and it shows that it is creating the drop. Okay, so having done that, it takes you there. Now what it's going to ask you to do is to create, give them an email address so they can send you a receipt, password, so you can manage the settings. This isn't absolutely necessary. You can just tell it done, but it's probably a good idea in case there's some confusion later on. And I use a junk email program that basically takes all my spam and all that. I use it for things that might get on mailing lists. I don't check it very often, and it's jimhavern@hotmail.com. And so I'll give them that, and I hit the done, and so that you can send information to me if I want to, and that's fine. Now you'll notice in this tab right now we're opened up at SAMP PRC, and the file that we uploaded is right here. So I can go to that, and here's our sample address, and I can download that file. I'm going to copy that address. It will take some time here in a minute, and it takes it a second. And setting up, and there she blows. That's it. Now suppose I was somebody who just received all this in the mail. I'd open my browser, and had received the address of http://drop.io/SAMPPRC. So I put that in there and click on it, and it goes to that website, and lo and behold, there it is. And I can download it just like I did before when I was testing it, and I can print it, and I can save it. Downloading it here if I want to. View it as I need, and there you go. As I said, in the case of, say, we use this for sending out motor mail. Someone sends me something in a document that's in Publisher, and I can quickly copy all the text out of that from Publisher and put it into some other format without it being put into a dot file. So that is Dropio. It is a very convenient tool for transporting files up to 100 megabytes from one place to another. You're essentially uploading the files to the website and sending the contact information as to how someone else can download the files from the website. That's it. More tutorials to come.